No.
Okay, 13 as a negative.
1A?
1D.
1D. G, you mean? Okay. I would say that if you saw that as a negative, then obviously yes. But what that is that's an old line. But so yeah, if you saw that as a negative 13, then this would be indeed just G, negative G to the 20th, if you saw that as a negative 13. Now, of course, if I have a negative base to a positive even exponent, then what is that really? That is G20, right? Yeah? Okay. So yeah, if you saw that as a negative, absolutely that's how you would write it, Sarav.
Why is 1A negative?
Because this right here, Abby, negative a to the 5th means negative a 5 times. Right? Okay. Any other questions from 1, 2, 5, 6? Excellent. There is 3, 7, 4. I'll slide down a little more so you can see. No, I'll have to shrink it a bit. There is the rest. Again, RJ and everybody, again, printing is an issue. If you have a different number, but you did the right exponent work with the number that you saw, that's okay. All right? Anything anybody want to ask about here? Riley? Which one? 4i, this guy right here. All right, let's have a look at 4i. 4i is e to the negative 4, e to the negative 6, f to the 5, f to the negative 9, and g to the negative 8 over g squared. Now, why have I split it into 3 colors? Because E goes with E, F goes with F, G goes with G. What do we call that in math? Like terms. Okay? So, now there's a couple of ways you could look at this. All right? You could, if you are really stuck with this, you're like, oh man, this is really hard. I just want to learn the rules and follow them. Then, do you have the same base here? What do you do with, what do you do when you have division with the same base? Subtract the exponents. Where are the exponents? Negative 4, negative 6. So this is e to the negative 4 minus negative 6, which is e squared. Everybody cool? Now, if you want to go one step further, you think about what's actually happening. There are negative 6 down here and negative 4 up here, correct? So these negative 4 disappear. And how many of these negative 4s disappear? How many of these negative 6s disappear? 4, leaving me with negative 2. Is negative exponent allowed? So where does it move? To the opposite spot, right? So this still ends up being e squared. Everybody cool? Learn one of the 2 ways. Either learn what you're doing and do it, which is addition from grade 4, or learn what's really happening. Everyone cool? Now, this one is slightly more difficult because the 5 and the 9 are different signs, aren't they? So we can't cancel, can we? So where does this negative 9 move? It should go up top and become positive, right? To get me f to the 14th. Or it is f to the 5 minus negative 9, which is 5 plus 9, right? And G, same thing. I can't cancel. So this G would move down below, right? And become G to the 8th, or G to the negative 8 minus 2, which is G to the negative 10. And where must that go? To the bottom. G to the 10th. Cool? Everybody good? Your choice. Now, the reason I start with the subtraction thing is because it's really easy to see. That is e cubed over e squared. 3 minus 2, cancel, cancel, leaves me with e to the 1. But in grade 10, when we add the negative exponents, and this is all you've learned, you're in trouble. Because everybody screws up the subtraction. When they do the negative 8 minus 2, they recognize it's negative 10. But if you're going to do this subtraction, then everything is in the numerator. And then you move at the end. Does everybody understand? We don't need a salute. This is not military school. Is everybody okay with everything else on this page? 8A. This guy right here? Yep. So, numbers with numbers. 7 and 5 gets me 35. Done. Letters with letters. A and A. Now, a to the 4th, a to the minus 1. Really, that is a to the 4th over a to the 1. Because that negative would move it to the denominator, yes? Or I can remember it's 4 plus negative 1 because I'm multiplying here. What is 4 plus negative 1? 3. And then B, 3 and 2, B, 5. Okay? Again, you have to decide how you understand this. I can only show you what everything means. But you got to decide how you understand it. I can't get into your head and tinker around in there and fix it. Avnor. 9A? Okay. So 9A, which we'll just have a look at it. 45x cubed divided by 5x to the 5th. So let's rewrite that. 45x to the negative 3 over 5x to the 5th, right? Times 3x to the negative 7, which would be over 1, yeah? Okay. So, choices, just like we did on the board. Do you want to move all these negatives now? Or do you want to deal with them later? Your choice. RJ says he wants to deal with them later. Does anybody want to deal with them now? See, a few people want to deal with them now. So you got to know how it works so you can make your decision on how you want to deal with it. Yes? If you want to move it now, what should happen to that? That should go where? To the denominator, to its opposite spot, yes? Opposite's the wrong word. To its reciprocal spot, yes? So this will become 45 over 5. There's already an x to the 5, and now there's an x to the 3, right? And then times, what have I got to do with that? Bring it to its reciprocal spot, which is x to the 7th. Does that 3 go anywhere? No. That 3 stays up top, right? So now I got 45 times 3 divided by 5. Well, what's 45 divided by 5? 9. What's 9 times 3? 27. And I got all my x's together now, so it's over what? X to the 15th. Everybody cool? Now, let's go the other way and do what RJ wanted to do, which was deal with it all at the beginning, right? Huh? RJ wants to get rid of the negatives afterwards. Yeah. But first I got 2 hands up. What? That's a 7. Just like it was there. That's a 2. Jordy.
So like, I know you can do it either way and it would be correct, but wouldn't it be like mathematically correct to do the division first, since it comes first in the equation?
So you want to deal with just that box first. Go ahead. Then you're going to get 9 over x to the 8th, right? Okay, times 3 over x to the 7th. 9 times 3 is 27, x to the 8th, x to the 7th is x to the 15th. Okay? Now, RJ was the other way. He wanted to go 3x to the negative 7. He wanted to deal with this first. Okay, that's what Jordy just said, right? 45 divided by 5 is 9. Negative 3 minus 5 is x to the negative 8, right? Times 3x to the negative 7, right? 9 times 3, 27. Negative 8 plus negative 7 is x to the negative 15th, right? Is negative 15 allowed? So it moves to get 27 over x to the 15th. We just did 4 different ways to do the same question. Who has to make the decision? You do. Now let's say you've decided and you got 27 over x to the 15th. And now I'm showing all these other ways. What do? You keep the way that works for you. Okay, this is not elementary school. I know back in elementary school, your teacher said, you can't move on until you show 6 different ways to multiply 2 numbers. I know this because my kids just went through elementary school too. I don't care. If you can do math, I care. Do it the way you know how to do it. All right? I have to show you numerous ways in case some people don't get the way I show them. All right? Harry. 8e. 12 minus 6 is p to the 6th. 7 minus 9 is q to the negative 2. What has to move? The q. P to the 6th over q squared. The other way you could look at it is the canceling way. There's 6 positive on the bottom, 12 positives on the top. So those 6 disappear. 6 of those 12 disappear, p to the 6th. There's 9 positives on the bottom, 7 on the top. Those 7 disappear. 7 of those disappear, leaving me with q on the bottom. Ms. Doan. Oh, I know. I get a lot of that. What can I do for you?
Luana, are you here? Could you come here for 1 second? Leave your stuff.
Abby. I just did 8e. Oh, no. That was 7e. 8e is right here. Numbers with numbers. 51 divided by 17 is 3. Negative 2 and 0. Well, negative 2 minus 0 is negative 2, so the 2 has to go down to the denominator. And 6 minus 1 is 6 to the 7th. Is d to the 7th, so it stays up there. Please notice, ladies and gentlemen, that I work in all forms, depending on the question, yes? If I see they're both positives or both negatives, I use canceling. If I see that they're different signs, I use the add and subtract thing. Everybody understands? And you will notice it's not through practice it's not because I've got these memorized that I'm faster than you. It's just I have all the tools available to me. And before I go to the question, before I start writing a thing down, I have a look and I decide what is going to work for me. Everybody cool? Just like you would not carry all the sporting equipment you have in your house out the door, would you? You do not need your hockey stick if you are going to play soccer. Right? If mom and dad say, we're going to your soccer game, you do not go down to the basement and get out your kendo uniform, do you? Do any of you even know what kendo is? It's that cool-ass martial art where you wear armor and you have a stick and you beat each other up. And you have like a face mask on. It's badass. Because in real life it's swords, but right, we're in North America. We can't use real swords. We use bamboo sticks. Not that I have done any kendo. I've just seen it done. I'm a karate guy. Which, of course, if you've seen Karate Kid, the first one, not the stupid Jackie Chan Kung Fu one, the good Karate Kid, where he was actually doing karate, means empty hand. Which is kind of weird because, of course, in karate, we do indeed use weapons. Any questions? Good. Let us move on, cabbages. These ones I assume people will want to ask about, but first there's all 6 right answers. It's not looking like we'll get to our quiz today. Well, we haven't even gone over the really hard ones. We're off the rails a little, RJ?
I got one right. One right for 12.
Do we need to go over them? All right. Let's start with this one right here. This is 11D negative 4 PQ cubed negative 5 P cubed. All right. Let's attack this. What here is something that you wish to with which you wish to deal? Mantaj. Which exponent? Say the number. Which cubed? On the left or the right? This one. Why? Tell me why. You don't need to put your hand up. We're already talking. Why? Why? What's the base here? It's the whole thing. The 4 is part of the base. So we have to deal with that exponent first. So let's deal with it. Now, if you are not yet comfortable, you need to remember that that cubed out there makes everything in the base cubed, right? So I have negative 4 cubed. Then P what? Then Q what? Now, would we leave that? Jordy.
Well, okay, so I wanted to ask, when you have the exponent of 3, it's on the outside of the brackets, and you want to put that onto the base of negative 4. So would it be written like negative 4 to the power 3?
Yes.
Or would negative 4 be in brackets?
Negative 4 is in brackets because it's in brackets here.
Yeah.
Negative 4 is part of the base. So this is negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4. That negative repeats 3 times. So is the answer positive or negative? Negative. That is negative 64 P cubed Q cubed times negative 5 P cubed. Numbers with numbers. What's a negative times a negative? Positive 320. P cubed, P cubed. P to the 6th. And Q has no partners, so poor Q lives just by itself. Now again, ladies and gentlemen, I am not trying to put you down, so don't all go home and I'm intermined, so mean. Did we do anything in this question that you haven't already done? No. What makes this more difficult? We are putting it all together, right? That's it. Don't be daunted by the entire question. If I told you tomorrow we are going to walk to Newfoundland, you all will, oh my God, I'm never going to make it to Newfoundland. But should you worry about the 20 bazillionth step as we walk into St. John's, Newfoundland? Or should you worry about the step that you're taking tomorrow at 6 a.m. when we start? The first step. When you take that step, what are you going to do with the next, with your foot then? Take another step. towards Newfoundland? Will you eventually get there? Yes. So when you have these questions, choose one thing that you can see to do and do it. Write it down. When we write it out, do you then see what to do next? Of course you do. Even if you are choosing a different path than your neighbor, if you are doing the right thing, you will both get there, will you not? So do that. Remember how your teachers have been telling you since grade 1 in math, Mrs. Bad Crumble, make sure you show your work. And in grade 1, the first kid, what if I don't need to? What if I just know that 2 and 7 is 9? Great, you do know that. But you still know 2 and 7 is 9. But when I throw in a bunch of other exponents, all of a sudden, I know it today. Show work. Write it down. Okay? The smartest people in the universe still show work. Google an image of a college math class, and the boards will be filled with what? Work. Why? Because you have to show work. Because how do you know where your next step is if you have done 17 in your head and the 8th of them is wrong? Understand? Show work. You will never run out of time in this class. Okay? Jordy.
Negative 2x over 5y 5. I wrote it like negative 0.4x.
Yeah, I don't stop doing that. Decimals suck.
Okay.
No decimals. Right? I hate them. Right? Stop using them. Yes. 12a is 3x to the 4th y over 2. Okay, what one next? Or is seeing 11D enough to straighten you out with the rest of 11? The rest of 11 were cool? So what do you want to see in 12? All 3 of them? Riley? 12a, yes, Avnor? 11c. 4m to the 4th n squared over 6m8 n4 over negative 3m6 n6. Decide where to start. Remember, all your math applies. If I gave you this, 3 times 6 over 2, what would you do first? You would do 3 times 6. Does this not look exactly like this? There is something, A, times something, B, divided by something, C. A times B over C. So, since you know what to do, and math is a pattern that never ever changes, what should you do with this question now? Absolutely. 4 times 6 is 24, idiot. Now what? M to the 12th, because you were doing 4 plus 8. Then what? Because you were doing 2 plus 4 over negative 3 m6 n6. Now, if I gave you this, what would you do? I would divide 8 by 2. Well, isn't this that? So what would you do? What's 24 divided by negative 3? Negative 8. What are you going to do here? If I have 12 m's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What are you going to do? You're going to subtract. That's the shortcut because 6 of them are going to cancel, leaving me with 6 up top. n to the 6th over n to the 6th. Same thing on the top, same thing on the bottom. What's the answer always? 1. 1. Of course you do. Because 6 minus 6 would be 0. N to the 0 would be 1. Negative 8m sixth times 1 is negative 8m sixth. Everybody understand? There is nothing we have done yet that you don't logically already know. Right? Because you already know that 8 over 2 is 4 because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 over 1, 2, 3, 4, cancel, and you get it. Except now we've got letters and exponents involved, but it's the same thing. 12, anybody? I heard someone ask for 12a. Okay, well, isn't 12a exactly the same as 11c? Isn't it a times b over c? So, what's 2 times 3? X to the 5th times x. That's 6. X to the 5th times x. X to the what? 6th. Y to the 6th over 4x squared y to the 5th. 6 over 4. What do you do in grade 4 when you learn fractions? Simplify. 3 halves. 6 and 2. 2 down there, 6 up there. They're the same sign. Cancel those 2. Cancel 2 of them, leaving me with 4. Are these the same sign? Cancel those 5. Cancel those 5, leaving me with how many? 1. 3, x4, y. Okay? Bring the math that you already know to the grade 10 party. Guess what you're going to have to do in grade 11? Bring all the math from grade 10 to the grade 11 party.
How dare you expect them to know stuff from last year?
Guess what you're going to have to do in grade 12?
Know it all!
Every single piece of math you have ever learned will be needed every single class.
Even fractions?
Even fractions. And don't forget, you'll be learning a bunch of new stuff in grade 12 too. To learn all that new stuff, all that old stuff has to be right at the surface, not buried down in your limbic brain where you are running away from it. Okay? There is no fight or flight in math. Math is fight.
I love you, Myers.
I get a lot of that, Mr. DeVries.
I know, me too. Yeah.
Everybody cool? Are we okay with B and D, or do we want to see them? If I were in your shoes, I would be a little bit worried about D because I see that negative base. And a lot of you are having problems with negative bases because you're not quite 100% invested. You know that negatives do something in exponents, but you're not 100% sure, so you're monkeying around with bases because you're not understanding what is going on. That is why at the beginning of the lessons, I showed you what a base does. That is why I reminded you 2 squared is 2 times 2. So negative 2 squared is just negative 2 times negative 2. You can see that you don't need to worry about a negative when it's with a base. Because of that. That's why I showed it to you. Everybody cool? Which one of those do you want to see? And then all of you will say both. All right. It's almost like I've done this before. I know, right, Connor? Okay. All of you were saying that you got everything wrong. We've gone over a bunch of it. Isn't B the exact same as this one and this one? Isn't it something times something divided by something? Okay, so I see. Now, don't numbers have to work with numbers? So I see a negative 3 times a negative 4. What is that? 12. Then I see a p squared and a single p. I'm doing something wrong. What am I doing wrong? What have I forgotten? I have forgotten that exponent, right? Now again, is this something you already know from math? BEDMAS, yes? So I got to go back and start. Oh, you sneaky Mr. Myers. Does that too apply to the 4, to the 3, or to both? Just the 4. Why? Because they're separated right there. The base is the -4. Now, if I don't write this down, can I go wrong? I could. So nothing has happened to the A, has it? So let's write it out. -3 p squared q5 there. Now, what has happened to B? That becomes positive 16. Why? Because -4 times -4 is positive 16. What happens to the P? P squared. What happens to the Q? Q to the 6th over 8p to the 4th, q to the 4th. Now does it look exactly like the previous 3? And we know what to do. Numbers with numbers. What's 3 times 16? -48. P squared, p squared. P to the 4th. Q to the 5th, that should have been green. Q to the 5th, q to the 6th. Q11 over 8p4q4. Numbers with numbers. 48 divided by 8. But -6. Letters with letters. Gone. Same thing on the top, same thing on the bottom. Letters with letters. Why can we just cancel here, Avnor? Why do I not even have to think? They're both not equivalent because one's 11, one's 4, but they're both positive, right? So I can just cancel those 4, take 4 out of there, leave me with 7. Everybody cool? All right. Now, what happened on the really hard ones? Does anything happen? No. It's just barfy. But it's the exact same math, yes? So let's look at this one. I think that you have the key to these, don't you? Yeah, I just didn't remind you, and a bunch of you probably didn't flip all the way to 20 and find the key. How many people did not flip all the way to 20 and did not find the key? Because I didn't tell you to. But if you did flip, you could check your work, right? Now, is everybody cool? Now, some of them, like I said, I remember, that negative could be at the bottom, could be at the top, could be right in the middle, right? Is everyone okay with the really hard ones? And when I say really hard, what do I really mean? You do the steps. There's just a few more steps, right? But is it the same steps? So the first page was walking to the bathroom. The second page was walking to school from home. This page is walking to Newfoundland. But what's common to all 3? Walking. Do you forget after you get to the bathroom how to get back to your seat? I've walked to the bathroom, I've peed. Holy crap, I'm stuck in the bathroom, I'm never leaving. Mom, can I get some dinner? I don't remember how to walk out of here. No, right? You're going to walk back to your seat, pick up your phone, and Instagram how you just peed. Yeah, you will, because you people Instagram everything. It's unbelievable. And it's not just you people, it's everyone. Old people on Facebook, just ate lunch, who cares? Just went to the gym, good for you. Huh? Yeah, exactly. I had a killer breath just then. It worked. Like 11,000 followers. Oh, he's still breathing. Good. Whatever. All right. So everyone's good? Okay. Now, in these ones, I will point out I was very mean on a few of them, I think, and I changed the alphabetical order, did I not? On any of them? Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, yeah, VU, UV. Yeah, I messed with your heads a little there. But it's the same thing, isn't it? Right? Isn't VU to the fifth the same as U to the fifth V? Yes, because 5 times 2 is the same as 2 times 5, right? Abby.
Can we go over that?
We are going to, that particular one, number 9?
Yeah.
Certainly. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is 9:21. How long do you think we can spend on exponents? 9 more minutes. Because tomorrow you're writing your quiz and then we are moving on. Right? Because notice, there's a whole lots of tabs up there. And we got to get through all of them. We are here. 1-3. We got to get to 111 before we even move to 2. Okay? All right. So let's look at this one. Again, your choice. Personally, I would deal with that 3 first. Or would I deal with that in there first? What do you think I would do? Not what you did. What do you think I would do? You would bring this 3 into all of these. I would tidy this up, so I only got to bring the 3 in to less things. So, I'm not touching the top. I'm not touching the negative. I am going to leave that negative way out here. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to clean up in there. What is negative 2 times positive 2 times negative 2? Now, those are all the same base, aren't they? Right? Are they?
Yeah. Yeah, they are, because they're all within the bracket.
If I had 3x times 4x, what's the answer? No. 12x squared, right? Okay. So I have numbers with numbers. What's negative 2 times negative 2? Positive 8? Negative 8? I like doing this to you. I just say them both. And then you people change your minds. Is it? What is it? Positive 8. And how many U's are there? 2. How many U's are there? 5 to make 7. And how many U's are there? So I got U to the 10th. How many V's are there? 2. How many there? 3. How many there? So I got V to the 6th. Now all of that is cubed, right? So now, Abby, instead of bringing this 3 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things, what am I bringing it to? 1, 2, 3 things. What's easier, bringing it to 10 things or bringing it to 3 things? 3 things. So, U to the negative 2, V to the 4 over 8 cubed. I'll help you out. It's 512. Wait. Yes, 512. U to the 30, V to the 18. 512. Yes, Jordy.
Did you just do 8 to the power of 3 in your head?
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, man. Not a lot of people think that mental math is cool. That means a lot to me. I'm not even being facetious. Anyways, the 512's done because there's no other numbers, yes?
Yeah.
Negative. Negative 2 and 30. Where does that negative 2 have to go? Because it's a different sign than the other U. So I'm going to have U30, which is already down there, and U squared, yes? Are these the same sign? So I can cancel 4 of them, which means that V is going to disappear. What happens there? No, I canceled 4 of them. So this becomes V to the 14th. Now, can I have 0 up there? No, so it's -1 up top. What do I do with the U and the U? U32, V14. Now, the only thing that might be weird is where the negative sign is. They like it right in the middle. Do I care? Not really. Am I the only math teacher you're ever going to have? Some math teachers will care. I like to get in the habit now because after here, a lot of people are going to care what it looks like. Not the way your elementary school teachers cared what it looks like, a different way. So get used to start putting that negative in the middle. Everybody cool? All right. Tomorrow, when you walk in the door, you are writing your exponent quiz. Okay? I will give you this. It is not as difficult as those. All right? But it's a lot harder than those. Or is it a lot harder? Or is it the exact same thing, taking it a few more times through? Is it a walk to the bathroom? Is it a walk to school? Or is it a walk to Newfoundland? Right?